Welcome to Ladies vs. Gentlemen, the show where we pit guys and gals against each other in the ultimate battle of wits.
Or will we? Starring your hosts Micah Herrera and Cienna Webb. Let's dive into today's topic and see who's right.
Hello, ladies. Today's episode is for you. We got some feminine flicks to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know what those are.
Prepare to be bored, Micah. But that's a good question. What are chick flicks? I got the definition right here in case no one's heard of that term before. Probably one of my favorite film genres. It's a movie that's intended to appeal especially to women, according to Merriam-Webster, or a slang term for the film genre catered specifically to women's interests and is marketed toward women demographics. They generally tend to appeal more to younger female audience and deal mainly with love and romance. What chick flicks have you seen?
What chick flicks I've seen?
Yeah.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls?
Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm a guy. I shouldn't watch that. But you know what?
It's a good film.
It is a good film. It is. I love it. I love it. I think that's the only chick flick movie I've ever seen. That's it, guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I totally get what you mean. Is there any other chick flicks you've seen?
No.
Okay, so you haven't completely betrayed your gender.
No.
Gotcha.
Not fully.
Okay, well, that's good. Examples of some chick flicks, we got some Mean Girls, Legally Blonde, my personal favorite, Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion, The Devil Wears Prada, that's Bryce's favorite, Clueless, and The Notebook. I have seen all of these except The Notebook. I don't know. I can't get past like cheesy romances, but at the same time I do. I don't know. I just avoided that film.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Have you seen like anything about it?
No, not really. But now, since you said like romance and stuff like that, it gets me kind of interested in,
Yeah, it's one of the most well-known romances of all time. Yeah.
Interesting.
I should have done it for my homework, but I was too busy making a trident for the musical. Right now, we're going to segue into our statistics. So let's begin with mine. In 2013, the ratio of women's characters on screen declined to 28.4%, and none of the 2014 Academy Award nominees for Best Picture featured important female protagonists. Alongside that, I also found this kind of feminist kind of vlog that was kind of trashing chick flicks, which, may or may not be okay with that personally, because I love chick flicks. The word chick flick or chicklet is in and of itself problematic as it carries negative connotations of girliness and femininity, which are demonized in a misogynistic society such as ours. Our society has made romance out to be girly as if it isn't a completely universal human experience that carries no specific gender or sexuality. I don't exactly, my personal opinion, I don't exactly appreciate the assumptions that come from online discourse about chick flicks. I will gladly call them chick flicks because as cheesy as they are, I believe wholeheartedly that they embrace femininity and are very fun to watch. Granted, they are catered to women and they are a little cheesy. They kind of cut corners and they're kind of like junk food. Mm-hmm. But I mean, who doesn't love like Cracker Barrel,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not that as it is now, but like before with like the creamy mac and cheese, like that's not good for you, but it tastes good.
It tastes good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, they are catered to women and have a lot of stereotypes in it, but what is so wrong? Is it so wrong to have an entire genre dedicated to growing up as a girl and finding love? It's not like we are being excluded from men's movies. If you don't like chick flicks, you don't have to. I'm not stopping you.
That's good. I like that statistic that you shared. And also the opinion too, because like a lot of people, they don't like a lot of stuff, but I'm like, you shouldn't go after that one gender for, how they make chick flick movies or they like chick flick movies. You can't go after women because they like chick flick movies. It's just in their nature, So that's what I really thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
So a statistic that I found on the internet was a 2017 box office mojo. And what it is, I could like break it down with you. I have like the percentages here. Mm-hmm. So chick flicks, and these are from different movie genres, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So chick flicks romantic comedies and dramas often have a higher percentage of female viewers. For example, romantic comedies typical draw around like 70% female audience.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at the guy side, I call them the guy flicks, right? Because it's a girl
Guy
flick. Guy flicks, right?
I didn't know that was a genre.
I didn't know either, right? So
Wow.
I did my research on this and I was like, okay, what is there for the guy flicks, right? So it's mostly action-packed movies or superhero movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tend to have more male audience, for example, in this case, of movies like the Marvel movies,
Mm-hmm.
Anything cinematic movies, you know what I'm saying, like films.
Yeah.
They go around between 60 to 65% of the male audience.
Okay.
With a strong following among young adult males. So, and this just shows how gender preferences can signify influence the audience competition for certain types of films. So that's what I really, really thought about it. And it's like, you look at the numbers and I'm like, they're like a little bit between, right, for both young women and male people. But you see, they're separate genres, which is very interesting. And I like how the percentages are on them. So,
yeah. I will say that kind of reminds me of like, men's films, like superhero films.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that has a female audience too.
Yeah. It could be a mixture too.
It is a mixture, but excuse me, a mixture. I can't say that today. It's okay. But chick flicks, they're mostly like girls, and like whenever the guys just roll their eyes. I feel like that's not only with movies, but it's also with like other feminine things like girls' toys. You don't see guys playing with dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I personally played with Hot Wheels, and I also played with Barbies.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. There's something about like the female like identity that is very like kind of almost exclusive to females.
Yeah.
While men's can just be more like gender neutral. That's what I've noticed with a lot of things.
Well, there's actually some movies out there that are, basically like there's no girls. It's like fully guy movies.
I do have a little preposition for you.
Okay.
Kind of a opinion that I have. You can debate with me or not.
Okay.
I don't think you're really strong-headed, like super strong opinionated, but I want you to be for this segment, for the sake of this segment.
Yeah.
I want you to take the men's side in this. Okay, well, I will start this debate. I will say, though, I do agree that girls can be spoon-fed romance and set up unrealistic expectations for men. A lot of girls can grow into this insecurity that they must be loved by a man in order to have value in this life. Not only that, but that what's worse is that the men in these movies are strong-headed, miscommunicate, and aren't allowed to be overly romantic or sentimental. Boys growing up are so easily exposed to the provocative aspects of women. Men are not allowed to be sensitive. Romance is for the girls, and the role for women is to be a prize. That's what society and the film industry says about women and female-related films.
Okay. I guess my debate for that would be, I do understand how men cannot show like a lot of romance and emotional and stuff like that. But even then they do offer some stuff and, in their point of view, which is like, again, I was telling you about the action, I can't think of my head right now. Just the high energy and just action packed films. But I feel like men's movies, but also girls' movies too. I think both sides bring pure entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the audience looks for. They want to look for pure entertainment, but also I just feel like, there is some men movies. They try to do the romance, but they're not like, hey, let's just switch it up, right?
Yeah, switch it up.
Yeah.
The men are bored.
They try to not go too deep. That was the right word I was looking for. They try to not go too deep into the you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And people just look for like a good car chase, you know, or an interesting fight with the guy, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I really, you know, that's my debate towards you. So
towards me,
towards you.
I mean, I get it. Like, I do think that the film industry is somewhat biased towards men. You don't really see chick flicks being catered towards men. It's always like, well, chick flicks is actually kind of, it exploded in like the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, I think that's where there was a peak.
There was a peak there.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. I don't really see that much anymore. But yeah, I do see, like, is it like, does it go back to the way men think and the way women think, that it's just like women are more emotionally intelligent while the men, they're like strong and they just want to see a good car chase?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there really is a resolution for this.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't really feel too strongly about kind of like the feminist side. But at the same time, I do kind of understand, because I did set unrealistic expectations for romance, for the man, for the wedding, you know?
Yeah.
Every single girl, no, it doesn't matter who you are, even if the girl says, I'm never getting married, they've daydreamed of their wedding day.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like society has pushed towards girls is, you know, it may not necessarily mean wedding or getting married or having children, but it's still like, oh, you got to find yourself a man.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like a lot of these movies do. And I think that's why people kind of criticize it.
But also criticize, right? You're saying, but also people tend to judge who you're trying to go, you know, who you're trying to date, who you're marrying, you know. They're like, oh, this guy's not right for you. Like, they tend to tell the girls that because of this and that. But I'm like, they tell that to everything. Like, they try to, what's the word? They try to show it in movies so then people could take that and put it and apply it with their lives, if that makes sense. So it's kind of, you know, a gamble, because I love chick flicks, but at the same time, it does kind of set up these unrealistic expectations of like romance. And of course, I have a boyfriend and stuff, but it does set up unrealistic expectations. Like, oh, I need to dress up. Oh, I need to look like this. Like a lot of these chick flicks have makeovers. Yeah. Like the Princess Diaries, you have like Mean Girls, like this transformation into this femininity, and then boom, it's like a character arc. Although I will say Mean Girls does it great, because the main character, Katie Heron, is like this Africa girl, and she doesn't put on makeup and whatever. And then she meets these mean girls and they start really influencing her. And then she starts wearing makeup. She starts wearing more provocative clothing and high heels in high school. High heels in high school. It was written by a woman. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They made it where Katie became more of a bratty person, more mean. And it was kind of like this hyper femininity. Yeah. I'd say. And she just became more mean. She lost her friends and started becoming obsessed with betraying Regina George so much. And I appreciate Mean Girls for doing that. That's why I like Mean Girls. And a lot of people don't really like Mean Girls. And I think it's a fantastic movie. Probably one of the best ones.
It's a classic.
It is a classic.
It is a classic. Classic.
Classic. Every person I meet, I'm like, have you seen Mean Girls? So. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to add to that? Do you think like watching like superheroes and car chases, does that influence a man's mind? What do you think?
I think so. I mean, again, going back like what we were saying, you know, just the audience looks for, and I guess both gender sides look for pure entertainment again. Yeah. But also, it's not just that only. It's like, you know, I feel like guy movies, but also girl movies too. It just depends who's directing the movie. And they need by the end of the day, I always tell my group in my marketing class, who you trying to market to? You know what I'm saying? It's all about who you're trying to show this movie to, but you also have to listen to your audience, what they want to see and hear.
Okay.
So by the end of the day, they should listen to, like, if there's a girl director that wants to direct a movie for a girl chick flick movie, they should listen to the girl side, start developing some research to make a good chick flick movie. Or if it's a guy movie, same thing like what I just said about the girl movies.
Interesting. We couldn't have any guests this episode because next week is our musical and 90% of my friends are in the musical. So we couldn't get anybody for our guests. But we came up with this plan where we ask our friends, hey, what is your opinion on chick flicks?
Yeah.
So I got a few of them here. First one. This one's from David Miguel. I simply hate them just to hate them. Nothing fills me with rage more than the drama that ensues in those films. And I asked him for clarity, like, what do you mean? Like, what kind of drama are you talking about? And he just said Mean Girls. He can't stand that film, which is like, again, great film, great morals.
It's a classic, but also a good comedy movie too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I don't understand why people hate it.
He's one of those guys that's like, I don't like girl drama because it's so petty and catty.
He's like, I'm too good to watch this, you know. Like,
I'm too good of a man.
I'm too good of a man.
And then we got my friend from Idaho. She's married.
Okay.
McKay Robeson. She says, I love them, but I feel like quite a bit of them are not realistic when it comes to healthy relationships and communication. The most accurate is My Big Fat Greek Wedding. You ever seen that film?
No, never. What's it about? I'm sorry.
It's so good.
You know what? Now, you know how I offered you to watch The Hateful Eight? I'll watch this movie.
Yes.
I'll watch it.
Yes. And we'll come back together and talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe on Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's about this girl that's like Greek. She has a big Greek family. And they're always like, oh my gosh, you got to get married so you can have kids. Wow, big family, whatever. And she's like struggling because she's got glasses on and she doesn't take care of her hair or something. And then throughout the movie, she kind of gets like this makeover so she can like impress a guy. Oh yeah, she has a crush on one of the guys that comes to her cafe.
Okay.
So she starts dressing better. She starts going to school and changing her job and everything to just improve herself. And then they fall in love. And then there's a big wedding. Everything looks tacky. And it's a very funny film.
Yeah.
Very fun to watch. One of those wedding films. I am a sucker for wedding films. But yeah, I do agree that
there's any drama in the movie too?
Oh yeah, there's always if it's a girls movie, there's of course there's drama.
Of course, it's gonna be.
Yeah, but I do agree that it's not realistic when it comes to healthy relationships and communication. A lot of those romance movies are like, "How could you do this to me? I heard you did this and that." Like one example I can think of is High School Musical when like Troy is like saying something about Gabriella or something, just saying, yeah, she's not that important to me. And he's like secretly, but not secretly being recorded.
Yeah.
And then Gabriella sees it and she's like, no, he hates me. And then it's just this whole like, it's after the second act. A lot of movies do it where it's like, oh, I hate you now. And I just, it's so stupid. It's so like, it doesn't feel natural. It just feels like, okay, this is the point after act 2, so we can get ready for act 3. It's stupid. All right, you want to read this next one?
Yeah. Oh, this is from my buddy Sam Seaman. Sam Seaman, what'd you put here? He says, I feel like a lot of them can be cheesy, corny romance movies that bore me to sleep. But there are some really good ones that are interesting to me. The Notebook is really good.
I can't believe he's seen The Notebook.
It sounds familiar now. Is that also another chick flick movie?
I haven't really considered it a chick flick. I say it more
it's
of
more like
a romance movie.
Okay.
I think a lot of people have seen it. I have not seen it. It's with, oh my gosh, I don't even know the actors' names, but they're well known.
I'm going to look it up after this podcast.
I feel like it's a very feminine movie though. And I'm like, what? He thinks The Notebook's good? Because I always thought growing up, I was like, oh, it's so cheesy. Such a cheesy Notebook movie. And all I know is like, oh, I wrote to you. But then I found out it was kind of like about this guy leaving his fiance for a girl back home or something. And I'm like, ew. Now I want to watch this movie even less.
Yeah.
All right, read this one.
Hosanna. Is this Hosanna from here?
Yeah, Hosanna.
Oh my God, I love Hosanna.
Shout out to Hosanna.
Hello, Hosanna. So she says they are a good sit down and watch just to enjoy a movie with your friends. It's also a genre that is kind of cringy, but in a cute, funny way. I like to watch them when I'm feeling a little down because you get just sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that for sure. Because it does, like I said, it's like Cracker Barrel mac and cheese. Is it good for you? Absolutely not. Is it nutritious? Absolutely not.
It goes all through your heart arteries and you just get a heart attack later on.
Is it absolutely tasty? Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes.
I will mention that Hosanna was also mentioning that she prefers action movies and really? Stuff that's, or actually psychological thriller movies. I think that's what she said. But she wanted to use her brain more. So I guess it depends on the girl that you talk to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the end of my little presentation.
Great responses from those people.
Great responses. Thank you for your responses. I just thought it would be a fun
really do
little
appreciate y'all.
Activity.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Well, I'll for sure watch that movie, Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yes, you better. That's your homework.
And then you watch The Hateful Eight.
The Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully it's free because I'm a broke college student. But anyways.
It's on Netflix. Do you have Netflix?
No, heck no, I don't have Netflix.
Man, boo.
Boo. Oh, well.
Anyways,
thank you for watching.
We'll see y'all.
Go watch some pink movies.
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
Thanks for listening in and watching. Who won this episode, man or woman? We will have more exciting topics in the next few episodes.
Stay tuned. Please remember to follow us on Instagram and YouTube where you can vote and get all the updates.